Hey everybody, so I haven't done videos in a couple of days. I'm sorry about that. I've been pretty busy the last couple of days. But while I was gone, we had a major trade take place involving the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Florida Panthers. So I want to talk about that now. It's kind of old news at this point, but I still think it's worth talking about. The Pittsburgh Penguins acquired Nick Bjugstad and Jared McCann from the Florida Panthers in exchange for Derick Brassard, Riley Sheahan, a second-round pick, and 2 fourth-round picks. So this is obviously a huge deal. This is a trade deadline type deal that Pittsburgh did not wait until the trade deadline to do. And with the trade deadline being at the end of February, We've seen Toronto make a move early. We've seen Pittsburgh now make a big move early. I don't think teams are going to wait until the trade deadline as much anymore. I think because if you wait till the trade deadline, which is at the very end of February, the 25th, then you only have that player for a month, and then it's playoff time, and you're right into the playoffs. I think we're going to see more and more teams making bigger and bigger moves earlier than the trade deadline like this, because they just want to have more time with the player that they're giving up all of these assets for. So I think it's going to kind of become a trend where teams start making bigger moves earlier, because if you wait until the deadline, then you really don't have much time with those players, especially if you're getting a rental for a playoff run. Then you only have them for a month, and then it's already the playoffs. So that's not much time to adjust to a new team, a new system, new coach, and get really settled into place. But anyway, back to this particular deal. I'm going to talk about Florida first, because this deal makes sense for both teams and helps accomplish what both teams are trying to do. Florida, it's pretty simple. Florida is not making the playoffs this year. They've had a bad season. They're not going to the playoffs. They know that. Everyone knows that. So they're trying to unload cap space, and they're trying to unload salary to create more cap space. And they're trying to unload salary because they want to take runs at Sergei Bobrovsky and Artemi Panarin from Columbus. That's what everyone, that's been reported. That's pretty much well known at this point. They are going after, in free agency, both Panarin and Bobrovsky. So, or at least they hope to. So they're going to need a lot of cap space to do that. So they're unloading salary as much as they can. They're a non-playoff team, so if they can move guys out without destroying the core of that team, they will. So Bjugstad and McCann get sent out. They bring back Derick Brassard. Brassard is also expected to be flipped again, so he's not going to be in Florida long. He's going to get traded to someone else, most likely. Riley Sheahan is just a bottom six forward, and then they got 3 draft picks. A second and 2 fourths. So they're acquiring draft picks, which is never a bad thing to do. And they've got rid of Bjugstad's salary, got rid of McCann. They've added Brassard and Sheahan, but they're going to get rid of Brassard now and flip him for something else. So Florida is just trying to create cap space. And this deal helps them do that because they'll be able to move Brassard, and they'll just keep on opening up that cap window to where they can sign Panarin and Bobrovsky, or one of them, or both, or who knows. Maybe neither of them. We'll see how it works out. Maybe neither of them want to play in Florida. But they've got options now. That's just, it's pretty simple what Florida is doing. Now let's go on to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, they are obviously gearing up for what they hope to be a deep playoff run. So they bring in Bjugstad and Jared McCann. Now Bjugstad is the centerpiece of this trade. 26 years old, former first round pick when he was drafted. Really good player. Injuries have really hampered him, especially this season. He hasn't played all that well this season. He only has 13 points on the year. But you get him on a better team in Pittsburgh than in Florida. You keep him healthy, hopefully. He's a great young player, and somebody who is really a two-way player. Bjugstad's good in his own end. He's not somebody who's just all offense. He's really not that at all. He's not even really known for his offense. He's a really good two-way player. He can give you something offensively. He can help out a lot defensively. Huge body. He can go to the front of the net. He can grind along the wall. 6'6", 215. Really big guy. Nick Bjugstad is a huge addition for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he makes their team a lot better. They also get Jared McCann. Now, McCann has 18 points on the season. He never really became what I think a lot of people expected of him, but he's a solid bottom six forward who can give you secondary scoring, play on your third or fourth line. He has 8 goals on the year. He can pop in a couple of goals for you, and really just give you somebody in the bottom six who can give you quality minutes down there and maybe a little bit of secondary offense. But Nick Bjugstad is the centerpiece of this trade, and adding him to that Pittsburgh team, who's already a very good team, this is just this is a huge move for them. I would suspect now that Pittsburgh is probably done with major moves. I think this is their major move. Now, they've obviously never been afraid to wheel and deal. They're a very active team on the trade market and have been for a long time now. But I don't see them really, cap-wise, roster-wise, I don't see them making any more major moves. They may add a couple of depth pieces as we get closer to the deadline or at the deadline. But I think as far as I don't think that at this point they'd be going after someone like Wayne Simmons or Michael Furland or Cody Ceci or any major move like that. I think this is their major move. They've made it, and we'll see how things play out. I really like the move for Pittsburgh as far as making them a better team right now. I really like the move for Florida and what they're trying to do and unloading cap space. They've got draft picks from it. They're going to be able to flip Brassard for something, even more to add to this. So both teams are doing what they're trying to do, and this move makes sense for both sides. But big win for Pittsburgh getting Nick Bjugstad. Florida, we know what they're doing. So overall, I think this is a good trade for both sides, and we'll see what Bjugstad and McCann do in Pittsburgh. They could become, especially Bjugstad, could become very valuable players come playoff time, and just the way he plays and his offensive and defensive abilities as a forward. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media, check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.